improving to the theme of the process of applying to graduate school in dance movement therapy. And first of all, I liked the improv. It felt really nice. It was good to process some of my emotions for the past couple of months through the movement. I think I realized some things that I hadn't really processed or thought about at this point yet. Some of the emotions were initially curiosity and intrigue and excitement, and then it got more stressful but also focused and with a lot of determination and process. So doing things like very methodically, going through the steps like 1, 2, and 3, what I have to do. And then I think it came to the point where it was like stressful, and so I didn't want to deal with it. So like procrastination a little bit, daydreaming a little bit, trying to ignore that I had these kind of responsibilities or things that I was pushing myself to do. And then recovery from that and focus again and determination again. And really this time feeling strength and momentum going into that. And eventually there was a kind of moment with just relaxation and peace when it was all over, then a little bit of worry, and then again just some peace and also kind of gratitude that regardless of what happens, that it was a good personal process. So in the end I was feeling in the improv very good about where I was, and similarly in the process of applying to school, in the end I just felt kind of great gratitude that I got to analyze myself on this level and kind of go through the whole thing. So some of the movement qualities that were in the improv were a lot of falling movements and recovering from that, and then release, and also a lot of sustained movements. Yeah, there was some breath, inhalation and exhalation. There were times when my breath was really going into it. Some of the dynamics, it was mostly kind of, I think, slower in a lot of parts. There were a few faster parts, but very much sustained, I think, in the general scheme of things. So. And then, is this how I typically move, or is it representative of how I typically move? I would say yes and no. There were some things that were movements that I think were kind of muscle memory from a lot of formal training. So those things I think are very typical of how I move. There were like actual steps that I felt got thrown in there without really trying, just because my muscles know where to go and what to do. But then I was also outside of my typical movement a little bit, and pushing to try to do some things that were different. And also, since the theme of the improv, something that I've never done before, I was thinking about new emotions or things that I was trying to express through the dance that I had never tried before. So there were some brand new movements that were not really typical of my past kind of movement, how I'm usually moving. And yeah, that's all. real quick to introduce the person who was moving with me. This is Georgia. She's one of my students, kind of, but we're friends. And this was actually, we've moved together before in dance class. We've done some little choreography things where we were working on it together, but she's never done improv before, so this was her first time. And we were improving to the theme of what it feels like to move to Portugal, because both of us moved here in the past year. So, Georgia, how did you feel about the improv?
I really like the improv and I really like dance with you. And it touched me a lot because I live here now and Portugal is so different language and different city, and my dance and my movement express very well this. And it was like the beginning, wide movements, a lot of falling, and it was like a confusion. And the main part was also wide movement, but like focused. And the final part was like, I want to be free and I want to be happy now because it's my new life here and I have to enjoy it. Yeah. And I really like the movement, I really like wide movements. And
how did you feel? You felt like most of your movements were bigger or longer?
Were longer and bigger movements, relaxing movements with a lot of parts in the floor. And I really enjoy feel the floor.
Yeah. I also felt like most of my movements, it was pretty typical of how I would usually move, like a lot of arms, a lot of floating, very bigger movements, very few things were actually aggressive and hard-hitting. Mostly it was soft. How did you feel like your movements related to your experience of moving to Portugal in the beginning and then in the end? Were there any challenges and were there challenging parts of the improv?
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges. Also the part on the floor is learn new things and feel all these new things.
Yeah, you had never done it before. Yeah.
So it's a quite experience.
I really liked that there was one part where we had different ideas about what the other person was doing. I was trying to go into Georgia and she didn't even know that I was there, which I think is very symbolic of moving to a new country. So she slammed into me in the back, and I was planning on going towards her, but then she obviously wasn't, and so she just ran into me. And my reaction to that was kind of to laugh, which I think is very typical here, in Portugal. If you have a new experience and somebody comes into you and you feel awkward or you feel like it didn't go as you were planning, you kind of laugh. It's kind of awkward. You do the awkward giggle kind of thing. So it was similar to that, and I really liked it. And then we noticed each other after we ran into each other and then kind of moved apart, but then we started to actually do things together. So it was initiating that was something that she wasn't planning, but actually it kind of worked out, and then after that we kind of could move together more. So it was very good. I liked that part. And I think the process of moving to Portugal for me and through the improv, what I was kind of feeling was that in the beginning there was a lot of excitement, but then feeling kind of overwhelmed, and I felt a lot of the movements where I was just sort of having kind of big upper body and just feeling overwhelmed by the space, and then also what to do with other people and how to come in contact with people. And then towards the end, it was much happier. There were some good moments. There were some challenging moments, but in the end, I think we kind of came together. And one other part that I really liked was where you were going up and down. We were going up and down at the same time, and we didn't really even think about it. it just ended up going that way. And I think that that's very true a lot of the times here, that you end up finding balance with people, with new people that you come in contact with. So it was a good improv.
Yes, thank